So we're switching now to cricket on the SportsMax Zone. Kolkata Knight Riders' playoff aspirations suffered a huge blow as they went down to the Chennai Super Kings by 2 wickets at Eden Gardens earlier on Wednesday. West Indians' Andre Russell, 38, and Sunil Narine, 26, were at the heart of a solid foundation laid by KKR, with both providing support for skipper Ajinkya Rahane, who top-scored with 48 to help the Knight Riders to 124 for 4 after 15 overs. However, a power failure at the back end of the innings meant they could only manage 179 for 6 from their 20 overs. The target of 180 was looking sufficient at the 6-over mark. As Chennai's response, they were restricted to 6-2 for 5 inside the power play. But the South African, Deval Brevis, had other ideas. He had a second innings brilliant run chase that was really outstanding, and we have those highlights for you.
Yes, when Chennai came out to bat, they needed to get off to a good start, but that didn't happen. Ayush Mathur going second ball. And then good shots from Urvil Patel. Hit 4 sixes in a breezy innings. But other than that, wickets started falling. Moeen Ali striking, getting Devon Conway, and then Patel was playing so well. A little unlucky, but a good catch from Varun Chakravarti. Jadeja showed his intent from the outset and was looking dangerous. But wickets started falling. Ashwin came at 4. He had to go. Jadeja went in Chakravarti's first over. And by the time power play had come, they'd lost 5 wickets. But Brevis came in and smashed it. Some lovely shots.
Yeah, that's what made it impressive, that innings. There was the drop catch there. Didn't quite get his hands to it. And Krish, you just have a look at this for hitting. Yellow flags waving, and they knew it really was on a knife edge. And he hadn't mishit too many. Mishits one, and Rinku is in the way of that. It takes the catch. He was to take a few more catches, actually a couple more. Rinku Singh, as KKR tried to hold on, but Shivam Dubey then shifted gears, and his shifting of gears propelled them closer to that total. And then he hit one in the air, and Rinku made absolutely no mistake taking that, and they thought they might be in. Takes another celebration again, and then Tala, bang, out the ground, and the job just about done. Took the single, and Kamboj said, I can do it too. Little nudge over the top, and away for the win.
So let's hear now the post-match comments from both captains after the game, obviously, post-match.
We were 10-15 runs short. When we were batting, we thought, no, around 185 to 195 will be ideal total on this wicket. But again, I thought bowler bowled really well. Again, it was a great game, but tough on the losing side.
Yes, we want to feature a strong team. We want to be competitive, but at the same time, we want more answers for the next year. Which batsman can slot in where, which bowler can, bowl which number of over, and according to the conditions and all. So I feel, there are plenty of positives, especially looking at the batting order, where it was slightly in a dismay when we started off. There was hardly anyone who was scoring runs.
So the loss keeps the Knight Riders in 6th place on 11 points with 2 matches to go. Reminder that the top 4 teams will advance to the playoffs. So the Kolkata Knight Riders, Ricardo, still have a chance, but they've got to win their remaining matches, and they have to hope that other results go in their favour as well. But mathematically, they're still clinging to some hope.
That's a position you never want to be in, Lance. You want to be able to get the job done for yourself, and I think they are extremely disappointed with today's result, because it was a winnable match. The captain, Ajinkya Rahane, said that he felt they were 10-15 runs short. I felt they were 15 to 25 runs short. We've seen a lot of high scores this tournament. In fact, when you look at the chase from Chennai Super Kings, they kept losing wickets, and to Kolkata's credit, they were able to consistently take wickets, and that sort of held CSK back, especially in those last 7 or 8 overs, because they were 129 for 6 that was about over number 13. So they were very much in control, but the fact that they had lost 6 wickets meant they had to be quite careful in those last 7.5 overs. And this is where I give tremendous credit to the captain, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. And you look at the scoreboard and you say, well, Dhoni only scored 17 from 18 deliveries, less than a run a ball, but it was such a vital knock, Lance, because when he came to the crease, it was a pivotal point of the contest, and it was a point of the contest where it could go either way, meaning if CSK lost a couple of quick wickets at that stage, they would be in trouble. But Dhoni knew that they were ahead of the run rate. He was his usually calm self, and he paced the rest of the chase quite comfortably, and I thought that was commendable on his part. But real disappointing for the Kolkata Knight Riders. They still had an opportunity, even going into the final over, bowled by Andre Russell, because CSK needed 8, and again Dhoni hitting a 6 of the first delivery, and that was that.
Yeah, you know, Dhoni's experience is always evident. He may not be as potent a player as he had been 10 or 15 years ago, and the fact that he has continued to play into his 40s tells you that he still has the appetite for the game, and he's such a high quality player with a great understanding of what is required, because quite often you hear people criticize West Indies teams and they talk about players not acknowledging game situations and thinking the game. That is something that MS Dhoni exhibits in his sleep. It's like it's innate. So with a lot of credit to him. Having said that, they've played badly all season, and they are out of the championship. But that is part of the reason why the KKR would be so disappointed with this result, because the CSK had come into this game on a 4-game losing streak, having nothing really to play for, but their season has gone, you know, to the dogs really. So KKR will really be beating themselves for not getting a win in this match.
Yeah, and you know, you have to give a lot of credit to Brevis and Dubé, because I think they made it extremely difficult for CSK to lose this match, because from a position of 60 for 5, or what I should say, even though they were 60 for 5 before that 37 for 3, they were always going at more than 10 and over, so they were always ahead of the rate. And at a point when you were probably thinking to yourself, well, maybe here's a point of the match where they would consolidate and look to go hard at the back end, Brevis and Dubé still went hard. Brevis was brilliant for his 52 from 25 deliveries, and I think that sort of took the game away from Kolkata Knight Riders, and it made it gave Dhoni the opportunity to be Dhoni.
Yes.
To show his intelligence, his understanding of the game, his experience at the back end, and get his team home. If he had to score at 10 and over at that stage, it might have been a different story. So credit to those batsmen in the middle. There's something I also want to look at from this game, Lance, having to do with Sunil Narine. And you know, it's interesting because Sunil Narine is a fantastic cricketer. He's a fantastic bowler. We all know that. He has shown his ability with the bat. But if there has ever been a critique or a criticism of Sunil Narine, is that he can sometimes look lackadaisical when he's out there. And his dismissal today just reminded me of that, because I just don't think you should get out in this matter. Just look at how his attempt at getting back. Had he shown more urgency, I think he would have got back and he would have been not out. But it was so nonchalant. And I'm not trying to be too hard on him here, but I just feel that sometimes when you have players like this, you can think they don't care. I'm sure that Sunil Narine cares, and he cares a lot. But I would rather not see him get out that way.
Yeah, it's almost as if he had a brain freeze, and he just didn't realize he needed to move quickly. But you are right. His body language does give you the impression that he's so easygoing, and sometimes it can be misleading because
Yeah.
it's just
True.
his style and his personality. But he's the type of person that if he's out of form and if he doesn't do well,
yeah.
it doesn't look good because he doesn't have that kind of urgency in his movement, his body language, his facial expressions to make you feel as if he's feeling something.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry for him to go through these kinds of things because people could misread exactly how, the effort that he's putting in.
Yeah, very much the case. And Andre Russell had a pretty good knock today as well. But, once again, I question the thinking. And this is something I've always questioned with Andre Russell. And I know I'm in no position to do that because Andre Russell, at his best, can take on any bowler in the world and be successful. And sometimes I believe that confidence can turn into overconfidence. And I wonder if today was one of those days because he was going well, Lance. He was in full flow, no doubt about it. But I've seen this on several occasions where Andre Russell tries to take on the best bowler on the day or the best bowler in the team. Today it was Noor Ahmed. And I just feel at the point when he got out, it would have been more sensible to see off Noor Ahmed and take on, I don't want to say lesser bowlers, but the other bowlers. And I think that is probably where KKR maybe lost those 15 to 20 runs. Because if Andre Russell survives beyond that over, I think he gets a massive score. And I think KKR are in a better position to win the match. But again, I say there's a part of it I understand because when you're in the moment and you're confident, and he had hit Noor Ahmed, I think, for a 6 before. He'd got a fortunate 4 as well in the over. The confidence probably grew and he felt he could take him on again. But it's also clear to me that, that was the 6 over mid-wicket and then he tried to take him on again. At that stage, I'm thinking, get a single, retain the strike at the start of the next over, and take on the other bowlers where the matchups are more favourable to you.
Yeah, no one has more wickets in the IPL at the moment than Noor Ahmed has. And you are right. I think as a batter, you have to respect the quality of the bowler you're facing. And if the game is tightly positioned and you're looking to consolidate a position, there's nothing wrong with just seeing off a bowler who is as dangerous as Noor Ahmed is, and then you could explode on some other bowlers. So I take your point. I think it's a pretty solid point.
And that's why I was so impressed with the knock from Mahendra Singh Dhoni, because Mahendra Singh Dhoni could have gone all guns blazing previously, but he didn't because he understood the assignment.
Break time?
Yeah.
Zone Update 2 coming up after this.